There's just something delicious and satisfying about making something so delicious and satisfying. Today on Where Food Stuff Happens, I'm going to show you how to make these amazing chocolate and vanilla filled cream puffs. Of course I'm going to take a second bite with this one. Oh yeah. So don't go away. Also, we're going to be using grams, so don't freak out. Don't freak out, it's okay. Just get a scale from the store and you should be fine. These, we're just going to mix this in. Pardon me with all the noises. We're really kind of just like mash it in, chop it in, and eventually we'll form a pasty sort of mixture here. Kind of mash it against the sides a little bit, whatever I have to do. This works better with a silicone spatula, but I broke mine recently somehow. I guess it just eventually wears, so it's fine. Whatever. Now this is nearly combined. There we go. You see it's a nice paste right there. Nice thick sort of, you know, sloppy paste. We still got some crunch. You can hear the granules of the turbinado sugar. So that's just going to have the good crunch in the CRAQUELIN, the crack, I guess, in the CRAQUELIN. CRAQUELIN, I guess you call it that. It's pretty funny. Alright, now we're going to throw the flour inside here. Boom, just like that. Oh, there we go. Keep it centered. Then you mix it more. Oh, geez, you lost a little bit. That's fine. Just be careful. Don't splash out too much. That could mean the end of the consistency of your CRAQUELIN. Could be too buttery. It'll get all greasy on top of the pastry, and it will not harden and become crispy the way you want. It'll become oily. Y'all yucky. Anyway, get this together, be right back. Excellent, so we got this little ball that it all worked into. You can see it's together. Flour, sugar, and butter. Alright, so we got a gallon Ziploc bag here. We're going to basically place this in the middle of the bag as soon as we cut the end open. This is kind of a package for the CRAQUELIN, or CRAQUELIN, whatever you want to call it. CRAQUELIN in America, I guess. I don't know. They just kind of open it all the way, or not all the way open. It's sort of I don't know, taco style or whatever, and hamburger style. I don't know whatever they call it, but anyway, open it all the way up like this. Perfect. Now we're gonna place the ball of CRAQUELIN right there. Actually, right there. Close it. All right. Basically, kind of flatten it out with a hand a little bit. And I'm just gonna hit the rolling pin on there, rotating it, making sure it stays in a circle as best we can. Kind of going back and forth, kind of all in the hips with this, making sure it's a nice circular shape. This way, that way, this way, that way, this way. Also, to keep it from rolling, I'm going to take a paper towel, wad it up, throw it in the sink a little bit, or throw it in the sink. I'm going to wet it in the sink with some fresh water out of the tap, not just sink water. That's gross. Place that there. Place this here so now it's not going to move as much, so I can go back and forth the way I wanted to. Just keep on going back and forth like that, swaying in back and forth. Hopefully it doesn't tear it apart. Don't let the bag mold the thing like that. That's not good. The bag does not command the shape. You do. The bag does not command the shape. I do. Alright. You can also use parchment if the bag is not your cup of tea here. I'll probably just smooth it out with my fingers here. A little bit. So I can throw it in the freezer. So it's nice and cuttable. So on this side. Oh, okay. But watch out for that. You don't want this. Basically make sure it's nice and smooth. The bag will create a split. You don't really want a split in your CRAQUELIN. Even under there. It's kind of hiding from me. So, oops, I'll tear that off to the freezer. Throw it on a sheet. Make sure it's a flat area in the freezer, or create your own flat surface with one of these baking sheets. Horrendous, I know, absolutely filthy. Okay, so we have the CRAQUELIN here, the CRAQUELIN. Being all keen peeled about it. You grab a nice 5 centimeter wide cutter. I don't have a I don't have a cookie cutter for this yet. I'm gonna get some of those, I guess, or whatever. And you kind of just pick your area and give it a good old twist. I may have to make sure, I may have to let this sit for a little while actually. Oh, it's nice and really nice and hard. Wow, how about that? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep going through it. Through it. There we go. Kind of roll it side to side. And the cool part is you get to, it's pretty cool. You just pop that. And you throw this off over here, or to the side, wherever. Have it prepared on another pan, I suppose. And you will actually have to roll these out. Roll this out at this thing a couple of times, so to get the amount you desire. And if you have too many of these left over, these are just fun to eat really raw. I remember going to this one kid's birthday party, and they were serving, as part of the hors d'oeuvres, butter sugar sandwiches with like white bread. And this is back when I was a kid, so you know, whatever it was, whatever food was just like, oh, I'll eat anything. But that was not good. Ugh. I was like, what the heck is this? There we go. Don't want that guy all messed up. Perfect. And be careful, kids, if you're using this method like I'm using, a random 2024 New Year's champagne glass. It's glass, so don't break it. You know, don't put glass in your hands. Bad. And I've got these on a cookie sheet here to go back into the freezer as I'm rolling this back into a ball. Okay, now we're hitting the actual choux pastry, not the roux pastry. Choux is just going to be the thicker roux, I guess. I don't know. 65 grams of milk here, 65 grams of water. And we also have 65 grams of butter here. This is basically cold butter, I guess, so it doesn't stick to the, so it doesn't leave as much on the bowl there to scrape off or whatever. So that should look where I'm filling. And we're going to turn the heat back on and get that cooking. Alright, so the idea is to bring this to a boil, basically a nice good boil. Okay, now that it's at a nice boil here, I'm going to remove it from the heat. Turn that heat off for now. Let me get a sifter real quick. Put the flour in here. And get this nice and smoothly sifted in if you don't want to have it all clumpy or anything. And we're going to mix it off the heat. This is one thing I messed up one time and the cream puffs did not come out very nice. Just make sure it's all mixed in off the heat. I'm going to get this mixed in, get everything here. So I'm throwing it back on the heat here. We're just going to mix it around, really nicely to get it to basically kind of start to stick to the bottom. There should be a little bit of a film there. Let's see. As soon as it is ready, kind of cooking it a little bit to its desired moisture level, I guess. Kind of moving it around, mashing it into itself a little bit until it forms a nice bit of a film on the bottom. It looks about good enough for me. It's getting a nice little stickiness on the bottom there. So I'm going to take it off. I'm just tossing this into a bowl. Pretty much. Pieces, I guess. Just going to spread this on the bottom so the eggs don't get cooked. Okay, this is cooled pretty nicely. Let's see. Yeah, the eggs aren't going to get cooked or anything. Get closer here. Oh yeah, lovely noise. Alright, we're going to pour about a third of that in there and get this thoroughly mixed in, basically before I add any more eggs. Alright, now that this is combined, I'm going to add another third of this mixture. In there. Yeah. And do the same thing, get that fully combined. Right,
So you want to add more, but not make it too liquidy?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to add a little bit now. Basically just like little bits of the egg until I get the consistency I want. And I'm going to fully combine that. This takes patience.
Right.
I'm just going to add a little tad more egg here. Little driplets. A little bit. And I'm going to continue mixing and get that to my hopefully desired consistency. Should stick to the spatula. I'm going to shake it off. Shake it off. To form a nice V shape. Yep, boom, you see that? Gorgeous V. Alright, that's done for me. I'm going to put this into a piping bag. Whew, got this right here. Alright, cool. Note to self, it does pretty much, the liquid does kind of evaporate as you're doing this, so be quick, I guess. So you wind up with these nice crispy topped, little bite-sized cream puffs here. CHOUX CRAQUELIN in the French regions, as they call it. Basically, I'm going to get these filled up with cream, which would be just a regular, well, delicious vanilla custard. I'm not doing a creme diplomate, which is just a whipped cream with a custard folded into it, or a custard with a whipped cream folded into it, so these will be filled with vanilla and chocolate custard. Alright, so for the custard here, we're just going to combine 1/4 cup of cornstarch with a 3/4 cup of sugar. Just no heat is on right now, we're just getting all these dry ingredients kind of mixed up together. Cool, so we're going to throw in our wet ingredients. We got 3/4 cup, or 2 3/4 cup of milk right here. And then for this, we have half and half right here for this conversion. You basically throw or pour a 3/4 cup portion of milk into a measuring cup and then add a 1/4 cup of cream. Mix that up thoroughly and then subtract a 1/4 cup of cream and you get this solution, which we are now pouring in here to combine. My screen has gone out so I can't see what I'm doing. Let me turn that back on. There we go. Breaching the fourth wall, and now we're going to turn this on. Well, combining all of this before the heat turns on. Make sure to spill some. Just a little bit. So that's good. Oh, actually a lot. Pretty cool. I'll let you know, it's like a teaspoon, so who cares? And the last but not least is going to be our 5 egg yolks. Throwing all these in with the heat off. And I guess if you want, you really could turn your heat on at this point. Just trying to make sure I don't burn the milk on the bottom, so I'm using a gas stove here. Oh, that's going to be a fun sound for everybody.
People like the sounds.
Do they? I guess I don't have that form of autism. So they have the autism where they like the sounds.
They love the sounds.
Learn to love the sounds. And basically...
Make sure you crush a lot of plastic.
Alright, let's just combine that, then I'll throw my heat on. It's not cooking. Oh, the heat's on. Alright. Switched over to the whisk. It's way easier to mix it faster without splashing it everywhere. Everything mixed, there should be little streaks of egg yolk in there. This whisk almost gave me a blister. Oh my god, a custard making blister? Oh yeah, this dude over here makes a lot of custard. Guy in the background voice.
Disembodied voice in the background.
Disembodied voice. Alright, got the heat on. Going to stir this for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or at least until it's thick. It could range from different times, I don't know, depending on the heat you want to use. I've got a gas stove here. It should be 25 minutes every time. 80% of the time, every time.
It's bubbling with your stop. You want to go 2 more minutes over. And then...
Oh yeah, it's thickening.
That's real nice.
Look at
That's
that.
real beautiful. That's disgustingly beautiful.
And keep the camera stable.
Keep it going.
Hopefully the fans of Hardcore Henry find this video. Yeah.
They're gonna love its reaction.
I saw a chef doing this in his kitchen and it didn't look very good, so I thought I'd try it.
You're like, I hate this guy.
This guy was exactly what he's doing. The benefit of being ambidextrous is you can just rest one hand and start doing it with the other one. Then switch hands.
Actually, I think that's a good looking custard, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Take it off. Or if you want.
Remove from the heat. Turn off the heat.
Reach this. Oh wow, yeah.
This is gonna be hot still, very hot.
Yeah, watch out for that, Jay.
Give it a look here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous. You coat
Very
the
nice
whisk,
to
that's what you want.
Now you want to throw in your butter, and you want to throw in your
And now the butter. Chopped 2 tablespoons of butter gone in. The rest of this vanilla.
Good measuring for vanilla.
Oh my god, I should just dump the whole thing in there.
That's just to make sure we at least get 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, at least a teaspoon.
What are we doing
1.
with teaspoons?
And that's the rest of that one. Oh, a tablespoon of vanilla goes in here?
No, I don't know. That's a lot. At least
Probably 2 to 3 teaspoons of vanilla.
tablespoon.
Tablespoon, 2.5. And 3 teaspoons of vanilla.
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons of vanilla, delicious.
Think that looks good? Is it as much as we usually put?
How much do you It says as much vanilla as you want on the
That does the recipe.
recipe, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a nice dirty plate, that's pretty cool. Someone's lunch.
I didn't know if that was in frame or not. I didn't have frame
Absolutely delicious smelling.
It looks crazy.
Pretty sure all this is empty.
It looks real glowy.
Oh yeah. Basically what you want is to coat the back of the spoon just like that. Won't make them off.
Is that the rule?
Yeah. Pinch of salt in there.
No.
Oh, no pinch of salt?
Whatever it's supposed to go in the beginning.
Oh, whoops. It is stored under some saran wrap there. And I'm going to basically refrigerate this and get it chilled for the puffs later. Okay, I'm mixing up the dry ingredients for a chocolate custard here. Basically the same amount of sugar, same amount of cornstarch, a 1/4 cup extra, actually of, not extra, but a 1/4 cup of Dutch process actually went in here. And I'm going to add this same milk mixture with cream, spilling the same amount on the thing as I did before. Very nice. Alright, so we have the heat on medium-low here. Just going to stir and stir and stir and stir and stir until we get a boil. And then add pretty much the, well, a smaller amount of vanilla, probably 1 teaspoon. Yeah, 1 teaspoon, and then an entire Ghirardelli 72% cacao chocolate bar, or whatever cacao percentage you'd like, really. If you want to make it more decadent, use a dark chocolate. Alright, so we're at the desired consistency, and you'll see that it bubbles a little bit, like the bubbles kind of force their way through. There they are. That's going to be done. Remove from the heat. And turn your heat off. Pretty much you're done with that. And basically we're going to throw in the chopped butter and chopped chocolate. And also a little bit of vanilla. Let's stir this in so it starts to sit in there a little bit and melt. Oh, keep the camera still. There we go. There we go. Alright. Some vanilla. Teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. Another 2. Basically half the vanilla of the last recipe because there's chocolate in here. The vanilla will be the chocolate enhancer. And just kind of stir, stir, stir until you feel that all of that is nice and melted. Until it is nice and melted. I'll put it back on here to get closer. No heat is on. This thing cools off really fast, so I like about these little burners. And look at that. Gorgeous. Alright, so we're going to just basically put this icing thingy into there and start filling. You want to rotate it in there, start moving it around a bit to fill the pastry. Oh yeah. The delicious custard cream. Wipe it off if you have to. Basically, keep this portion clean. Very nice. Basically fill it until it starts to pop out. That's how you know it's full. And put the screen on. One more. Oh, there you go.
You got
Yes,
the
very nice. Hi, this is my mom. She's going to try one of these cream puffs now that I've made. I put a little, I got some icing sugar on there.
Oh my god.
nice.
Jay? Amazing.
Thank you.
Light,
Awesome.
airy, vanilla,
Got
custard.
a crunch.
Got the crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yeah, it's good.
beautiful.